Well, hi, boys and girls. Gee, it's so good to see you again. Well, it looks as though our storm is getting just a bit closer. But you and I, we'll stay in the workshop if it rains, all right? Yes, we'll stay inside and wonder about the storm outside.
Now, boys and girls, it's time to wonder. Here's the show that makes wondering fun. Uncle Wonder's Workshop. And here he is, Uncle Wonder.
Well, I'm back again. Well, see what I'm doing right now is that I'm making a birdhouse, remember? And right now I'm making the floor for our birdhouse, following the plans very, very closely that I have right here so that I know exactly which cut to make and where and how much more wood that I'm going to need. Right now, as I said, we're making the floor for our birdhouse rather, and if you'll wait just a moment, let me finish making this one cut. There we are. Pretty even, too, if I say so myself. And the floor will be just like this, and then we'll have little posts sticking on each corner to hold our roof. Now, if you remember from the last time, this is going to be a birdhouse for Mr. Song Sparrow. Would you like to see what it's going to look like when it's finished? Well, it's going to look mighty pretty, and I'm sure hoping that our friend Mr. Song Sparrow is going to be very well pleased and satisfied, too. Well, you can surely have a lot of fun building bird houses, especially so if you have mother or dad to help you and sort of enter in on the project and the fun of things. Also, friends like to help. Sure, you could have one or two of your friends maybe help you out on making the birdhouse. Now I have to drill some holes, one in each corner. This shouldn't take long. And as soon as I get the holes drilled, we're going to talk today about a storm. I know that you've seen probably many, many storms from one time to another. Are we coming through the other side yet? You tell me now when the drill goes. Oh, there it is. I heard you call out, so I knew we were all set and ready to go through the other side of the board. Now we've got one. This will be two. And one over here. Three. One right here. There we are. Now, we have the bottom for our birdhouse, our Song Sparrow birdhouse. So all that remains to do is to put our little uprights in each corner and then put on our roof. Then we'll paint it a very pretty color. All the time watching our plans very, very carefully so that we're doing everything just right. And we'll have a fine place for Mr. Song Sparrow to stay. And I hope they visit real soon, just as soon as we can get it finished. Well, how about you? Have you ever seen a thunderstorm? Well, I think most of us have. If you haven't, then I'll bet you have a pretty good idea of what happens in a thunderstorm. Oh, let's see, there's lightning, thunder, lots of wind, and sometimes lots of rain. Now, do you remember what we said about what not to do when you're out in a thunderstorm? Even if it's raining a lot, don't go under a tree, because lightning sometimes hits trees, and if you're under the tree, you may be hurt. And we don't want anything to happen to you. Of course not. Now, what do you suppose lightning is, boys and girls? Oh, it's light, all right, because we can see it flash, just like that. Yes, that's right. Lightning is electricity. Lightning is electricity. When lightning flashes, it's electricity either jumping from one cloud to another or from the clouds to the ground. Now, the electricity is just like the electricity in the lamps in your home, which makes light for you. Now, no one ever knows where the lightning will hit the ground, but sometimes it hits trees, big, tall, pointed buildings. Things which stand high off the ground and are pointed get hit by lightning more than things which are low and flat on the ground. Now, I was just thinking, we can do an experiment to show lightning and electricity. Come on along to the laboratory. Now, this very, well, sort of funny-looking machine right here is our electricity maker. And with this, why, we can make our own little thunder and lightning storm. Well, it'll be a little one, but we'll have a thunder and lightning storm. We'll have everything except the rain. And it's a lot of fun sometimes to work with it. Of course, you have to be careful from time to time because it takes a lot of electricity to produce the storm. But not quite as much electricity as it takes way up in the sky. Then there's much electricity. Well, you all ready? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll start our motor. There we go. Now let's turn down the lights in the laboratory so you can see. All right, you all set? Now here we go. We're going to make our own thunder and lightning storm. Now you watch real closely and you'll see what's going to happen. Ready? Look. Now, there's our lightning. And of course you can hear the crackling. And that's our thunder. So you see, actually, we can call it where the big globe is. That's our lightning jumping from cloud to cloud, or from the cloud to the ground. Now remember, we said lightning would strike tall, pointed things like big buildings, or trees, or tall poles, quicker than it would strike anything low and close to the ground. Now let's listen and watch for just a while, and we'll watch and listen to our very own little storm. Well, there you are. Our very own storm. Let's shut our machine off now. Glad the storm's over. Let's turn the lights on. Now what we have to do is make sure that all the electricity is out of our machine. Well, we got one more little crack of lightning and one little more clap of thunder out of our electricity-making machine. And I hope you see what Uncle Wonder means. Now, what we were doing, remember, is making lightning jump from this big ball right here to the tip of the rod that I was holding in my hand. Now, that was our lightning, and the crackling you heard was the thunder. It was a lot of fun. Maybe we can come back and do it again sometime, huh? We'll have our own little storm again. Meanwhile, come on over to the workshop. Well, now, the next time that you see lightning, boys and girls, I hope you'll remember that lightning is electricity in the air, and it jumps from one cloud to another, or from the clouds to the ground. Now, someday, let's wonder about electricity, shall we? Getting louder, isn't it? What do you suppose makes thunder? Do you have any idea at all? What do you suppose makes thunder? Well, have you noticed that the thunder comes right after the lightning? Now, the lightning must have something to do with it then. Now, let's listen for the thunder right after the lightning. First the lightning, and then the thunder. But why don't we hear them both at the same time then? Well, you remember when we were wondering about light and sound? We said light waves are much faster than sound waves. In fact, we said light waves were the fastest thing in the whole wide world. Nothing moves through the air faster than light. And we found out sound moved fast, but not as fast as light. Remember we made our echo, and it took a little while for the sound of my voice to get back to us? See, I have an idea. Let's make another echo, all right? Now, the schoolhouse is right across the yard here, and of course there's a high wall and it has no windows. Now this is very good for making echoes. Now you listen to my voice, bounce back to me. Listen. Hello there. Hello there. Well, if it took my voice that much time to get back to me from only across the yard, well, I'll bet it would take thunder time to get down to me from the clouds because they're so much farther away. Now, what do you suppose makes thunder? Well, I'll bet it's the lightning because thunder and lightning almost always happen together. Sure, that's about it. When the lightning goes through the air very fast, it makes vibrations in the air. Say, do you remember what vibrations means? Sure. Things shake back and forth fast enough, and they make a sound. Now, the lightning must make a lot of air shake back and forth because thunder can get pretty loud, can't it? Sometimes a lot louder than my rope. Oh, do you remember when we made sound with my rope? Let's try it again. Well, here's our rope. Still tied to our workshop wall. And listen and watch. Now look how fast my rope is going. And do you hear the sound? Well, my rope makes the air vibrate or shake, doesn't it? Well, sure. And what's more, you could feel the wind if you were standing close enough. But listen to the thunder. So much louder. There must be a lot more vibration in the air, boys and girls, when the lightning zooms through the air and makes it vibrate. Say, you know, we can tell whether a storm is far away or whether it is close to us because we know lightning reaches our eyes before the sound of thunder reaches our ears. Sure, when you see the lightning, listen for the thunder. Now, if the thunder takes a long time to get to your ears, then we know the storm is far away. But if the thunder comes right after the lightning, then we know the storm is very near and we'd better get inside so that we don't get wet. Now, I'll tell you what, speaking of rain and storms, I remember I have my car windows down, so I had better roll the windows up. Excuse me for just a moment, because I'll need my raincoat for this job. So until next time we can get together and wonder about rain and storms, remember, it's fun to wonder.
This is National Educational Television.